and welcome to another episode of Painting Your Future with Cure for Bare Walls. I am fine artist LaTanya Renee, coming to you from Atlanta, GA. Today I want to talk to you about using what you have and starting where you are. Alrighty, let's get right into it. A couple of videos ago, I mentioned how I got started as a fine artist. So I was a licensed nail technician for some years back. I got my license in 1995, and what I did is I kept my license active even though I was not a practicing nail tech for many years. So I always kind of kept up with the supplies. I go to the stores that you had to have your license to go to buy things for my nails or to buy things for like pedicures, manicures, etc. So I still kind of buy acrylic here and there to do my nails or a couple of people's nails that I know. So like I said, one day when I purchased my home, I always wanted to paint on a canvas. So I didn't really know what to use. I used the things that I had, such as my nail paints. These were like the folk art paints or the more the acrylic paints that are in the hobby section. For some reason I can't recall what those type of acrylic paints are, but if you know that information, leave it below because I'm drawing a bit of a blank. But anyway, these paints are anywhere from like 68 cents to like maybe $1.19. And you all know exactly what I'm talking about. So I used these to create art on nails years ago. So obviously the first thing I did when I did buy a canvas is I used that same type of paint to create my first painting. Yes, I used that same type of paint to create my first painting. But however, the desire was there. The resources that I had were there, such as pulling out things out of the nail kit. And in order to even get some type of texture, when I was even trying to figure out how to paint, I didn't even know what the texture was called. So even when I would start to Google, I would Google terms like hard stuff on painting, hard things on paint. I don't know. I didn't know what it was called until I found out it was called modeling paste in order to get the texture. And it's somewhat of the same things that construction people or carpenters or whomever would actually, or even painters, professional painters would use to repair a wall. It's like the plaster, but it's made specifically for professional artists, and it's called modeling paste. But it took me a while to even find out what that was. But anyway, let me get back into my other point. So I was actually in my room mixing up acrylic and putting it on a canvas, trying to practice and feel my way around a canvas because I didn't know what to do. But the thing is, I used what I had. And I also went to the local hobby store, which is Hobby Lobby, one of my favorite stores. I went to Hobby Lobby and purchased the canvas from there and got a little inexpensive brush and started swirling some things around. I actually still have that painting, so take a look right here. Okay, so now that you see what my first painting looks like, and let me show you what my newer painting looks like. Obviously, I'm sitting in front of some of my art, but let me put a photo up there. This is what starting with what you have ends up as you grow and you keep progressing and learning your industry and your craft. That's the first place that I would actually start, is the local library as well as the internet. And the reason why these are just such amazing resources, it's a no-brainer, and I know that you know why. I hear people all of the time telling me, I want to start this, I always wanted to do this, and I get it. I get that if you've never had an example of what success was modeled in your life, you would just kind of not really know exactly where to start. But you have to be resourceful and you have to want information. And trust me, I had to start at places because I didn't have information. I didn't know what I was doing before I really became a better painter and then a great painter. So the same is with you. Google. If you want to do anything in a particular area, there is so many resources out there. If you Google the terms, even if you don't know what they are, it will suggest things to you. And YouTube, of course, I'm on here. It's full of tutorials related to anything that you need an answer for. And I'm sure that if you're watching this video, you are someone that watches YouTube, and you know there are tons of resources. So use what you have for free. Okay, you may say, LaTanya, well, I don't have the internet. Well, years ago, when I couldn't afford the internet, I would use it at work, at my day job, or I would actually go to the library and jump on it, or I would go to a friend's house to use their internet. So there's really not many excuses you could make unless you just like making excuses. And I don't like making excuses because they get old after a while and then nobody cares. So if say you want to be a chef, do you just say, oh, I want to be a chef, or I want to be a hairstylist, or even a professional that wants to be something like a doctor, a lawyer, or an accountant, or just whatever? They all have to start where they are with what they have. So an example of a hairstylist would be that she starts with her own hair. Then she starts on the hair of her mom or her friends and her family. And then she branches out into working on more of the public, but she starts where she is. And a lot of times, even if she doesn't have a second person or a best friend or some family member to even work on, she'll go ahead and grab a mannequin and work on that mannequin, or she's going to be her own mannequin until she can get to where she's trying to get, if she truly has the desire to be a hairstylist. The same with a cook. They're going to start where they are. They're going to start at home in their kitchen. They're going to start with the food that they have, the kitchen that they have, the dishes that they have, and they're going to cook for their family and their friends, and then they're going to start cooking for like their co-workers. And then as that word of mouth grows, then everything else starts to take place and grow along with that journey. You get where I'm coming from? Okay. Also, there is, like I said, the YouTube and all of that type of stuff is here. But there's also free education. If you're on anything like, say on Facebook, they run a lot of ads on Facebook. They have so many ads that I get, and I don't know if I'm getting them because I'm signed up as this type of person that follows businesses, or I have a business, or I don't know who they're targeting, but I get so many ads that have free courses and free downloads, free planners, free goal books. I have a free goal setting guide that you can actually download at the end or under this video, and that goal setting guide is more or less for beginners or someone that would need a refresher as far as getting started on the process of making their dreams and their desires happen. But take advantage of those free classes, because those people that put out those ads, they are really, really good at what they do. And I ended up signing on to Digital Marketer as well as Neil Patel because I seen amazing ads, whether those ads were on YouTube or I saw a Digital Marketer on Facebook. Those were amazing classes for free with a wealth of information. So I'll leave the link for Digital Marketer below the video as well as Neil Patel. Okay, so that free education is amazing. 9 times out of 10, they're going to sell you something after that, but you don't have to buy it. You buy it only if you see value in it growing for your company. And if not, just use their blogs. Just use the articles that they've already had amazing research on, and you can learn so much from just sticking within their community with their free blogs and their free courses until you can get to a point where you can afford more. And if you want to do some paid, they also offer like inexpensive digital marketer. I know offers inexpensive paid classes starting at around $39 a month, and you have like a wealth of like a resource, a library. And the same with Lynda, Lynda.com. They're owned by LinkedIn. They also have like a monthly membership where you can invest in amazing classes for about, I want to say about $39 a month. Something like that. Another one is your time. There are 168 hours in 1 week. Make sure that you are using your time. You say, LaTanya, I work a day job. I don't know how I'm going to start a fashion business. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, you do work a day job, so there's some financial resources there that you can use to some degree, whether there's doing something like purchasing something as simple as a business card, or paying the incorporation fee or the LLC fee with the state to get your business name reserved as a corporation. You could do that for very, very, very low money. You can also invest in a business card, which is very inexpensive. Everyone knows a graphic designer. Everyone has someone that they could even ask, do you know someone that does this? Do you know someone that does that? Ask for referrals of someone. Even go on Craigslist and you can find graphic designers. I have an amazing web developer and graphic designer. I'll leave her information below, but she's designed at least 3 of my websites for me, and she's amazing. So I found her on Craigslist some years ago, and we actually spoke the same language, we collaborated the same way, and we worked amazingly well together. So that is a resource. Start with Craigslist if you don't really have the money to really spend on something more high end. In addition to that, like I said, your time is so valuable. You work in the morning, but you have to make time. Or if you work at night, you have to make time during the day. Your time is your asset. Are you sleeping 8, 9, and 10 hours? Okay, well, some of that time needs to be devoted to research and reading and spending it doing something that you love to do. Because 9 times out of 10, most of us are in jobs that we hate, and we're in a rut, and we're in a cycle, being a slave to the bills that we have to pay. And when we get off, we're so darn tired that we don't even have the time or energy to do anything else. But I'm telling you right now, I have been there. I've done that. I can go by an example. I started a magazine when I worked a full-time job. I also, at times when my business got slow as a nail artist, I had to work my own business all day and then go to a spa. And at one time I had a night job that I worked 8 hours at night for about 3 months. So I've had to make ends meet here and there, and when I do have a goal, I'll try to put more hours in somewhere, or even get another job part-time so that you can find a way to finance your dreams. You may not do it long term, but you'll find a way to get that dream financed. In addition to that, do not waste your time and your money, and find out what it is that you're spending your money on. Don't, from this day on, make sure you're not spending your money on just unnecessary things. If you can afford to cut back into some areas to sacrifice for the things that you want to do, you will need to do that. I am a person that can tell you from example, I've done nothing but sacrificed over the years financially. I go without because my business will need. I have put so much money into my dreams, into my goals over the years. I've had many successes, and I've also had many failures. There's no guarantee, but I can guarantee that if you keep at what you want to do, eventually you're going to learn enough, and you're going to be good enough, and it's going to get to a point where it does actually work for you. So I just want to remind you to use what you have. One more thing. Very, 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 very valuable. People say, I don't know where to get sales. Okay, with those business cards that you just purchased, sales are going to come from you using that resource. Everyone has a cell phone. Pick up that cell phone and make a cold call. Yes, Pick up your cell phone and make a cold call to a stranger. I can give you some successes I've had from making cold calls, and since I've been in sales for some years, but pick up that phone and make a cold call to a complete stranger that you know absolutely nothing about. Or call someone that you do know and offer your services, or talk or do a pitch to them about what you are offering. Okay? And thank you so much for watching. This has been another episode of Painting Your Future with Cure for Bare Walls. Again, I am fine artist LaTanya Renee. And if you are in the Atlanta, GA area, don't forget to try to check me out. You can always stop by and take a look at my inventory as well. Also, follow us on social media. All of the info is below in the video. Okay, you see how I'm rhyming? My old songwriting skills are coming out. But also, check us out online at cureforbarewalls.com. Also, where our art is all about inspiring, motivating, and encouraging you to be your best. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click the subscribe button. And have a great day. Thanks for watching.